Oh, good morning, Louie from Washington, D.C. Good morning to you, Louie. So good to see you here. Well, Louie looks very excited. Well, I'm not sure where our other viewers are from right now, so feel free to leave it in the comments below. I am from name of city, and leave this very nice exclamation point. That would be great. Stefan is from Munich. Hello, Stefan. Good to see you. So we are streaming from the Philippines. It is 6:53 p.m. over here. I hope you guys are excited for Amelia, because I'm excited for Amelia. Guys, don't forget to check out the Amelia LTD. We do have a link in the description of this post. This is out only for a very limited time. Let me check it out. Oh man, 26 hours. Just 26 hours left for this flash sale. All right, where is everyone else coming from? Please leave your city in the comments below. Or if you're just excited about this webinar, say yes with a capital Y-E-S and an exclamation point. Kathy Reyes is very excited. Hello, good to see you, Shorif. Good to see you, Ranveer. Lots of familiar faces. I hope you guys are excited for this. I have been waiting to have Amelia for so long already, and I'm just glad they're back on AppSumo. Good to see you, Imran. And thank you for the shout out. Wouldn't it be nice if Ken could just swing by here and we could have him as a guest? Ken, we're calling you out. Come on. All right. Pratik, welcome. Welcome. Hello, Joseph from Nairobi. All right. We got 10 viewers right now. Abhishek, good to see you. Hello. The webinar begins in 4 minutes. Thank you for asking me. How are you? I'm doing well. I think I had a lot of coffee today, but overall, I'm just very excited for Amelia. And how are you, Abhishek? Seems like you're excited for Amelia too. This music never gets old. Yep, I can see that you are excited. Webinar begins in 3 minutes. Ah, very nice. All right, we got 10 viewers so far. And Aleksandar is right here in the backstage. He's ready. Aleksandar, if you're ready, give me a thumbs up. All right. Yep, he's giving me a thumbs up. So Aleksandar is right here, and we will start on time. And as usual, if we have a lot of engagement, we may have a 15-minute extension at the most. All right, 13 viewers. All right. Come on, guys. Keep them coming. Felipe or Philippe is here. Hello. Make sure to ask some really good questions, because I'm not sure if they're coming back, you know? This is a very rare situation for Amelia to come back. They haven't been on AppSumo for 2 years now. All right, we start in 2 minutes. Hello, Kev. Welcome aboard. Lots of LTD fanatics tonight. All right, we got 14 viewers. That was a big spike from 11 to 14 out of nowhere. Okay, we begin in 1 minute. 15. Well, that's the end of one track, so I think we can stop with the elevator music. Okay. 6:59 over here, PM in the Philippines, AM EDT. 16 viewers so far. Keep them coming. Sound of silence. All right, it is 7. We can officially begin the webinar. Hey everyone, Moo Crew, Ken Moo Lifetime Deals Group. We are back for another webinar, and this time we have Amelia, which is coming back for, I'm not sure which launch this is, but they are back, and we've been excited to have Amelia over here. So without any further ado, please help me welcome the head of customer happiness at TMS, Aleksandar Vukovic. Welcome, Aleksandar. All right, great. So great to have you here. How are you, Aleksandar? I'm doing great, and I'm just stoked to learn more about Amelia, and I will be glued to the screen watching everything you show us. All right. D- Fantastic. Do you want to share about your story? Okay. I'm just going to stop you there for a moment. For some reason, they say that you have no sound. Let's just check for a moment. Mm-hmm. That is odd. I hear him on my end.
How about now?
I can hear you guys. Can you hear him? If you can hear him, please say so.
I'm talking, so if you guys can hear me.
He's talking. Hello? Okay, it says okay on. There we go. Yes. All right.
Okay.
Fantastic. All right.
All right. Well, I don't know what happened there, but anyway, pleased to be here. So we'll start over again. The company started a while ago with one WordPress plugin and one man behind it. And we've developed Amelia around 4 years ago. At this time, we have around 70,000 active installations, nearly 500,000 appointments booked through Amelia, and our development team is constantly working on upgrading the plugins so we bring Amelia close to every business that may require appointment booking or event booking, and we're looking to expand to other fields as well. So hopefully in time there will be multi-day booking, which would be great for hotels, hostels, and so on. The team behind Amelia is, well, I can say a family, like a family. We've got quite a lot of people that have been here since the beginning. So we're just adding new people here, and us who have been here for the longest are staying here put. We're not moving anywhere.
Sounds super exciting. Yeah, a family as a company. Yeah, I've been seeing very familiar faces and names across your SaaS products. So that's pretty cool.
Yes. Traft, which has been released last year, is similar to Amelia. It's only SaaS, and it's still trailing behind Amelia, but another development team is working on it as well. So Amelia's users will never see or feel that we're bringing down Amelia because of Traft. So we got two dedicated teams working on both products, and as you said, quite a lot of people switch between Amelia and Traft, mostly support, but also developers and project managers. So we're all in this together. So we try to, keep it together.
That's fantastic, and I think that's very reassuring for all of us who I think I have both Trapped and Amelia at this point, so it's good to know that they each have an independent team. Fantastic.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Um, well, for all users who haven't used Amelia yet before you go into purchasing it, you can always check out the demos on our website, and you can always check out the light version, which is available on wordpress.org. So we tend to clear everything up before or after the purchase, so everything is transparent here, nothing to hide. We simply love our plugin. We love developing it. We love defending it. So we hope to bring everyone the best user experience and best customer experience.
That's super exciting. All right. I believe you prepared a demonstration for us?
Yes, actually, I've prepared a blank website with nothing but Amelia installed. So we'll just dive in as a new user. And if it's okay with you, can I share my screen now?
Sure thing. This I gotta see.
All right. Okay, so tell me when you
All
see
right.
it.
And I see it. All right.
All right. Okay, so this is our website where you can, yep, wrong button, sorry about that. All right, so this is our website where you can see our demos, you can see our documentation, which is extensive. Everything is covered in the documentation. You can talk to our support agents, and basically this is where you get all the info on Amelia. So this is that blank website which only has Amelia at the moment. So the first thing you got to do is create an employee. An important thing to note for all you guys who want to test Amelia first using the light version. Employees are not included here since you only have one employee. And in the light version, you configure that through settings. But with the full version, you create an employee. So basically, Amelia test employee will use, sorry about that, a real email and that's it. So this is the start of it. You create an employee, click save. When you save the employee, you can now start adding services and categories. So basically, you have nothing under services here, and you need to create a category first. So this will be a new category, and we just save that and add a service. This service can be yoga, for example. New category, set the duration to be 1 hour. You can choose if it's going to have a buffer time before or after. You assign the employee, and at the moment, this is it. You can configure the pricing here. So for example, $20, enable deposit payments. If it's going to be a fixed amount, for example, $10, or if it's going to be a percentage, 10%. And you can also allow your customers to pay total appointment amount straight away. In the gallery, you would add pictures that are referring to this service, and you can also add extras. For example, an extra would be extra 15 minutes, which would have a extra 30 minutes since I haven't configured this yet. Extra 30 minutes, that would cost additional $5, and you can increase the quantity and everything. So basically, let's save that, and you can enable extra as a mandatory field. So at this time, we have everything we need to place Amelia on the front end. Now, since we are limited in time, I've already configured the pages here. So when we view the page, as I said, this is a blank website with nothing but Amelia, so it's looking like this. And here it is. Here's the booking form with the option to add an extra. Extra would be extra 30 minutes. We continue. We choose the date. We choose the time. And add our details. Now, this is all pre-configured since I'm currently logged in. So you can type in a new customer, and we'll use a test email just to show you how it works. At the moment, we're using on-site payments, so there are no options to pay right now, but I'll jump to that later. So as a customer, you would be able to select a calendar here and add it to your calendar. When you click on this, it opens up in a new window where you log into your account and add this to your calendar. Since we have only one service, there was no option to select the service from the front end. So we can add another service real quick. And that's basically it. Duration 1 hour. We'll set it to be free, so nothing under pricing. And that's about it. When we refresh the page, we will see an option to choose different services. If you have multiple employees assigned to the same service, there will be an employee selection. If you have multiple locations, there will be a location selection in here. So that's basically it with the full version. And I must make a note here. If you have the Pro version, so not the basic or not the developer, with AppSumo, you can only have the Pro version. So this works for everyone. You can create packages. So basically, create a package where you can add multiple yoga sessions. The duration is the duration of the package. If you set it to be 7 days, you've got 7 days to book all appointments within the package. So in here, we choose the service. I haven't saved it. So let's just refresh the page. Okay, now we add the package. Set it to 7 days. And select the yoga service. So we can choose number of appointments to be 10. This is how many bookings a customer has to book while purchasing the package itself. It could be 0, so they can skip it and book the appointments later. You can limit it so they can only book 1, or go up to 10, so they can book everything. The price is automatically calculated, but you can change that so it's a custom price. If you want to add a 20% discount, and that's it. In the booking form on the front end, when you select the service that's included in the package, it will be offered below. So in here, when you choose yoga, you can see the package in here. Basically, it shows you what you have. You have 10 appointments. It's shown that you're saving 20%. And here you can select the time and the date of your appointments. Now we can go through everything and book 10 appointments right away, or we can skip simply because we've added the minimum to be 0. So we can book 1 appointment now, and then when we log into our customer panel, we will be able to book the rest of the appointments through there. This is it. The package has been booked. Also, there's an option to filter the front end form. So Amelia Booking and Amelia Catalog, 2 different forms. So I'll show you the other one right away. They can be filtered to show a specific category or a specific service. In here, in the Gutenberg editor, you can choose Amelia Catalog View and select a specific service. For example, choose yoga. You can even pre-select the booking parameters where you choose a single employee if you have multiple employees. We don't have any, so I'll just skip that and show you how it works, how it looks in the catalog view with only the yoga service displayed. So the catalog view comes up looking like this, a bit nicer. What do you think, Dave?
Beautiful. I just love your UI.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to hear that because we are going to make it even better pretty soon.
Fantastic.
So
Looking
this is
forward
how
to
it
it.
currently looks. Thanks. Our development team is currently working on making it look even better. So I hope that you will be enjoying it. Wanted to show you how it looks without defining the service. Catalog of all categories. And now when we view the page, you can actually see the category and you can choose the package or individual service. So that pretty much covers the services and the package. There are a lot of different options in here that I won't go into, but I'll just mention them. For example, you can configure, these are all general settings inherited from here, from Amelia's settings, but you can change them per service. So if the default appointment status is approved, you can change it to pending. So this service requires an authorization of an employee. You can configure the minimum time required before booking, canceling, or rescheduling, or you can change the period available for booking in advance. So at the moment on the front end calendar, you will see 1 year ahead, but you can set that to be 20 days. So no one will be able to book 21 days from today. You can also choose different payments. I haven't configured them yet, so we only see on site. And in here, we can enable Zoom and lesson space integrations. Dave, would you like me to go through settings now? What do you think?
Yes, please. I'd love to see the settings.
Okay, now settings can look frightening to say. I mean, we've had some feedback from our customers that say there are too many settings, but they are very logical. So just bear with me. Under general settings, you've seen that I wanted to set extra duration for 15 minutes. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was not able to do that because the default time slot set was set to 30 minutes. So we can change that to be 1 minute, 2, 5, 10. It's split into 1, 2, and 5 because if you set it to 1, you will be able to create a service that lasts 32 minutes, 55 minutes, 67 minutes, and so on. We'll set it to be 15 minutes. This is kind of mostly used default time slot step. And when you save it like this, I'll show you real quick. On the front end, when you choose a service, this service lasts for an hour. So without the extra, when you take a look at a date, you will see these are offered as 9, 9:15, 9:30, 9:45 because of this. So this hasn't been enabled And this gives the freedom for users to book anytime within this time slot step. If you enable this and save it, then refresh the front end page, you'll be able to see time slots defined by the duration of the actual service. Here. So it's now offering appointments from 9 to 10, from 10 to 11, and so on. Are we good, Dave? Do you have any questions at this point?
I'm just mind blown with the shortness of the intervals, like 1 minute intervals. That's crazy.
Yeah, we've had customers last year that used Amelia for booking COVID-19 vaccinations. And basically, they've had literally thousands of customers book in a day. And
Wow.
they are the ones that use this the most. So they set it to 1 minute so everyone gets their chance to book. I don't know if they are waiting in queue on the spot, but actually they've used this quite a lot. So when you log into their website under appointments here, you can see 10,000 appointments in a couple of days.
Wow. Not a
Yeah,
minute wasted.
exactly, right. Moving on. The buffer time, you've seen it when I was setting up the service. If you include the buffer time in the time slot, when you configure the service, so for example, if this service was 1 hour long and had 30 minutes of buffer time, you would see an appointment lasting from 9 to 10:30. So that's what it does. It shows the buffer time in the time slots. These are the settings that you can configure per service. So minimum time required before booking, you can set it to be 2 hours. So within 2 hours of the appointment, you won't be able to book it. If it's 1:20 where I am currently, so I wouldn't be able to book at 2:20, but at 3:20 with this configured. Same goes for time before canceling and rescheduling. You can limit when customers can reschedule or cancel their appointment. You can configure the period available for booking advanced, as I show you in the service. And in here we go to the actual form here. So the phone, this country code is defined by user's IP address. I'm currently using a VPN, so I'm in France. You can set that to be your own country if you're local. And you can set the phone number as a mandatory field. A good feature here is languages. So a lot of people have multilingual websites. So if you have a website in English, you can also offer Amelia in a number of other languages, for example, German, Greek, French, and so on. If you want to add additional languages, you add them here. Amelia has a translation for around 15 languages at the moment. So if your website is already configured to be German in here, let me just show you that real quick. So if you set it to be German, where's German? I don't want to use these because those have a different, here it is. Those have a different local, so it's not going to be translated. But as you can see, Amelia is translated into German. So if I go into settings now, I will see everything in German. How do you like that, Dave?
I would say something in German, but I can't.
Okay. Well, I know a bit German. I mean, I can understand the most, but speaking, awful. Anyway, so why am I mentioning this? Because users often get confused and say, I want to use my language in Amelia, and their site is already, for example, in German. Then they go here and they add German. That's a bad practice because you then have two German languages. And let me just show you what happens. So when I set German and go to customize my Amelia, imagine that our site is still in German. So everything is in German right now. Let's just let's not imagine anything. Let's just show this to the users. Okay, now, when we go back to customize this, everything is in German. So you now have a German site and you have a German language as an additional language. So let me just show you. So instead of Orte, let's say service, and you can see that it's translated. I'll save it and it's translated. However, when you change it to German, it's back to Orte because you're using the same language twice, and Amelia sees it as well, not as a conflict, but it overrides itself. Do I make any sense, Dave?
Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you for
Okay.
showing us that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's an important thing to note because there are a lot of people who often get confused because of that. So here when you add the languages, you can set the email to be a mandatory field, and this is a cool option. You show your booking slots in the client's time zone. We have a video about this in our YouTube channel where I've shown how I can change my computer's. Okay, it's refreshing. When I change my computer's time zone and set it to be in Canada, I can actually see the bookings on the front end shown in Canada's time zone, even though I'm in UTC plus 0. So if you guys are going to use Amelia all around the world, this would be a neat feature to enable. Add to calendar option is what I've shown you when I booked the first appointment. So you just allow your customers to add to the calendar. And these are some basic settings like default items per page in the catalog view. When I refresh the page here, it would show 12 items here. So instead of 3, if we had 20, it would show 12, then another page. Here's where you add the Google Map API key for setting up your locations, the redirect URL after booking. For example, you have a page that says, thank you for booking. You copy that URL and you paste it here. If you want a different upload path for your customers to upload stuff, you paste it here. You can also enable Google reCAPTCHA, which you can configure on your Google account. I've mentioned when I booked the package that customers can book appointments within the package afterwards. That comes in handy here when you enable the customer panel. So when you enable the customer panel, I've made this beforehand. Copy the URL of the panel and paste it in there. Just save it. You can actually configure the settings to allow customers to reschedule their appointments, to create Amelia customer user, which is a WordPress user in here. Require the password to log in. If you don't do this, they will simply get a link to log into the profile afterwards. So when we save this and visit the customer panel page, you will get an option to log in. When you book an appointment, in order to log into your account, under notifications, you need to use the customer panel URL placeholder. So Amelia saves it like this. It's the customer panel URL, which provides you with a token that automatically prompts you with set up your password. So instead of just visiting this, it would be a token here that would allow you to set up your password. Same goes for the employee. Employee page URL is the same thing. So employee panel, paste it here and save. And this is where you would actually allow your employees to configure their services, their schedule, their days off, their special days, manage their appointments or events. And the last option here is to allow the admin to book appointment at any time. When you do this, your employees who currently have the default work hours from 9 to 5. So here it is from 9 to 5. And an administrator would be able to go into appointments. I'm an administrator right now, so I can create a new appointment for this test customer and this employee. and I can basically choose Sunday at, let's say, 1 a.m. This employee is going to have to rise early. Here it is.
Nice.
Yeah, thanks. Under payments, I'm just rushing to cover everything since we only got a few minutes left. Under payments, you can enable WooCommerce, Molly, PayPal, Stripe, or Razor Pay. All those are require an actual account on Stripe or PayPal or Molly. And for you to install WooCommerce as a plugin here, you can use WooCommerce as a payment option only in Amelia. So it doesn't integrate with their add-ons, only the payment. So basically, if we enable this, currently we can set it to test mode, paste the keys here, and you will see the option to pay for the appointment right away, straight away. Notifications, here you can choose PHP mail, which we generally don't recommend because that often goes to spam. WP mail, SMTP, which is the most commonly used, and Mailgun. So in here, you configure the host, for example, SMTP, gmail.com. Port is 587, security TLS. This is your email address, and the SMTP password is the app password that you configure in your Google account. This is described in our documentation, so I won't be going through this. This is the name, Amelia Webinar, for example, and the sender email, which could be no reply at ameliawebinar.com. You can configure the successful cancellation redirect URL. So if someone cancels, it brings you to another page where it says you've successfully canceled your appointment. Or if they try to cancel within the period that was enabled for period when the customers won't be able to cancel, it would say, sorry, you're not able to cancel this appointment. You can add your admin's email address here. So, for example, you add this email address and this user will receive all email notifications. Notifications that go out to the customer and to the employee. Same goes for SMS. And you can also add the ICS file in the notifications so people can add this to any calendar. Let's just cover customize section real quick. You've seen me change a label when we were in German, so you can basically do that here, bringing anyone with you. Someone was, I believe, from South America. They were booking llamas, so they wanted to add additional llamas. So do you need more llamas? And we save that and it comes, do you need more llamas? And so number of additional llamas, it would say how many llamas. And that's how it looks. When we save that, it goes, on the front end, it comes up like this, looking like this. You can actually preview it to see how it looks on the front end. You can go through every step here in the booking form and configure what it says, how it looks, change the colors. You can change the booking form that you're configuring. So if you, for example, change something in the step-by-step booking form, so it says llamas, and it doesn't show up on the front end, check if you're using the correct form, because in the catalog form under catalog service, you have the same step in here. So when you go to step 2 to actually configure this, it doesn't mention llamas, but bringing anyone with you. So you got to make sure that you're using the correct form. Another thing here are the custom fields, which are text, text area, text content, select box, checkbox, radio button, attachment. You can actually upload stuff when you're booking an appointment, and the date picker. You add something, select an option, then you add an option, option 1, add another option 2, and you got to select your services to which this custom field applies. If you configure an event will be shown here as a dropdown as well. You can choose if it's required or not, and you can send custom fields for each customer separately. So the customers don't receive the notification in here. Also, frequently asked question is, can I send a follow-up email? We have the next day reminder and a follow-up email, which is predefined. It's set to go out 30 minutes after the appointment, and it's important to create a cron either on your service using this or with the WP cron troll plugin using this command. You can configure your notifications. You can create a new notification, which is 3 months follow-up. This is used by doctors mostly, so it's a scheduled notification that goes out for this service, and it goes after 3 months. So, dear customer, we just wanted to check in on you. That's it. You create it, and you've got a new customer notification for 3 months follow-up. Same goes for the employee. And one thing to note is that these placeholders here that you can use, they are different for the employee and for the customer, and they are different for the appointment and the event. Dave, am I going over the time that we need here?
Yeah, that's all good. We actually have 133 comments here, so I think people
Oh,
are
wow.
brimming with questions here, but it's up to you really if you'd like to continue.
Well, I'd like to continue for just to show you guys. Wait, where's my site? Okay. So basically, you can see the full feature list on our website, which are SMS notification, custom schedule, special days, which I haven't mentioned in the employees section, which is this. These special days override the working hours. So basically, you can add a special day. For example, on April 26th, I have a doctor's appointment, so I can only work from 9 until 12. And then I'll be away for 3 hours, so I'll come back at 3 and I'll be working until 6. And that's it. Save the special days. So on April 26th, I won't be here between noon and 3 p.m. Also, under working hours, you can change this so it only applies to one service. Then you can add another period from 5 to 7 that applies to another service. I just use the same service, but you get the idea. Basically, that's pretty much the rough coverage of Amelia and the setup of Amelia. I simply what the important thing that I'd like to show you guys before we move on to questions are the integrations, which are Google Calendar, Outlook Calendar, Zoom, webhooks, and marketing tools and lesson space. Google Calendar allows you to connect your employees to their Google Calendar. Now I've got this in here. So the client ID is this, the client secret is this, and you can enable Google Meet with this. You can remove Google Calendar busy slots is what allows Amelia actually to see Google Calendar's busy events, and it removes them from the employee's availability. For example, I've booked my doctor's appointment tomorrow at 2, and when I connect my employee to my Google Calendar, the employee automatically will not be able to work between 2 and 3, for example. So in here, I just connect to, this is normal because I haven't verified the application that I've created. You guys can do that in the developer's console here. So basically, I allow Amelia to connect my employee to my Google Calendar, and in here, just change it to this. And now my employee is connected to my Google Calendar. So basically, if I go to book an appointment real quick, that will be shown in my Google Calendar, and this is exactly how it works for Outlook Calendar as well. It's just a different different configuration, Google, test, email, option 1, which is mandatory, confirm. Okay, now if I go to where's my email? Didn't close it. So in here now, when I check out my email address, let me just uncheck this. So when did I create it? It was created on, no, that's not it. It's in here somewhere. I just didn't remember when I booked the actual appointment. Let me check it out. But this is basically it. When you connect your employee to the Google Calendar, the Google Calendar will show the appointment which is booked for the employee. Okay.
Awesome. That's super useful. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we've covered the employee panel. We've covered the customer panel. We've covered the integration with Google Calendar. I don't think we have that much time, but we can always respond to customers' inquiries in here when you contact us on our support platform. So, Dave, if you have any questions, I can go through something real quick, or we can go to the actual questions.
Yeah, I think we can. Someone is asking if Amelia is completely white labeled.
Not yet. We will release white label option for the developer license, which is unlimited domains, unlimited subdomains, within a few months.
Okay. Do you need to continue a few things more for your demo, or would you like to proceed with Q&A?
We can proceed with Q&A.
Okay. All right. So it's time for Q&A. Amara is asking, what integration does it support? Zoom, Google Meet, VBout, and Zapier?
We went through that. Well, we went over that real quick. So yeah, Amelia integrates with Zoom, with Google Meet, and with Zapier via webhooks.
Okay. Tom asks, can we create services and let our staff or volunteers select the services they are willing to be part of? And this way it becomes like a
Yes.
marketplace.
Well, sort of, yes. So you can create services, and when you create a service, you have to assign the service to an employee in order to create the service. That's mandatory. But if you allow employees to configure their schedule, in the employee panel, they can actually go to their profile and select the service they'd like to cover.
Okay. S. Hang asks, can we make more than one booking in one booking session?
Yes, you can make more than one booking if you use the packages like I've shown. So you predefine like 10 appointments, then you book all 10 appointments straight away. Or you can use the recurring appointments feature, which I haven't shown. It's basically when you create a service, you have an option to enable recurring appointments. So a customer can just click on a slider and select recurring appointments, which would recur daily, weekly, bi-weekly, and so on.
Okay. Felipe asks, is Amelia GDPR compliant?
Amelia is GDPR compliant. Yes, we've removed all Google fonts, and we've removed the support for all the Internet Explorer browsers that was compromising GDPR compliancy, and we're moving towards HIPAA compliancy as well, but I cannot say when that will be implemented.
Okay. Mark asks, what about users' data privacy?
Everything is on WordPress. Everything is in your WordPress database. Amelia has absolutely no insight in your customers, in your employees, in anything. Even if we may need to access your site to troubleshoot something, we guarantee that we do not share any information. So basically, everything is on your website, in your database, safe.
Fantastic. Naz asks, can we block our staff from seeing clients' personal details? This is needed for GDPR.
Customers are shown to the employees when they book with that employee. So at the moment, there's no way to block all information about the customer from the employees. Um, when when a customer books with a certain employee, that employee will see that customer's name, last name, phone number, and email address.
Okay. Mark asks, hi, I'm interested in getting this. My use case is, it got left behind, but I think they were looking to use it for a ticketing and events website.
Yeah, I haven't shown you events actually. We didn't have the time for that, but you can create events with that would last for a few days, or a single day event that would be recurring, and you can also create tickets in there. So basically, you select the capacity, and then you can add tickets for children, elderly, adults, stuff like that. And with our next update, which will be in about a week or two, the tickets will be following the total event capacity. So, for example, if the event capacity is 10, 5 children can book, and 3 adults, and two seniors, and that would close it. At the moment, it still works like 10 for children, 10 for adults, 10 for seniors, but that will be fixed within a couple of weeks at most.
Nice. Debbie just mentions so many options. It's very impressive. Okay.
Thank you, Debbie.
Amar asks, is it already mobile friendly?
It is mobile friendly. Yes, we don't have an application for mobile devices, but the forms themselves change for different widths of screens, and our development team is working on both tablet and mobile views for all our forms and panels.
Okay. Jared asks, do you have plans to make this a SaaS for those non-WordPress users like Draft?
Well, yeah, I was going to mention that we have actually tracked. There are no plans to convert Amelia to SaaS because we already have Traft. So if you guys are interested in Traft, you can take a look at that.
Nice. Ranveer asks, can I use this for group booking like weekly webinars?
Yes, each service has a maximum capacity. So you can set a service to have a capacity of 30 people. And basically, with a minor tweak in appointment settings, where you would allow customers to book below minimum capacity, that would allow 30 different people to book the same appointment at the same time with the same employee. Or you can enable the option for people to bring someone with them. For example, I want to bring you, Dave, to an appointment with me. So I click on one person, and so basically the two of us, me plus one, are gonna come into that appointment.
Sweet. Michael says, I guess I have to stack 5 of this.
Awesome. Thank you, Mike.
Okay. Carl mentions, which is better, Traft or Amelia?
That depends. Which is better, Audi or BMW? Depends on who you ask, what you need it for. Amelia is a WordPress plugin, so it is dependent on a lot of things: themes, plugins, um, add-ons, the hosting, everything. With Traft, everything is hosted by us, so it's simple: configure, install, and use. Nothing like conflicts between other plugins or the themes or stuff like that. No, you can use custom CSS in Traft if you want it, but in Amelia you sometimes have to use it because there are some plugins that use global classes which override our classes, and then that becomes a mess. But those are pretty rare. So again, depending on what you want to use it for, uh, Traft is better for some users, Amelia is better for others. It's a judgment call.
Okay. Wilson asks, can we customize the design beyond just colors and fonts, etc.? Like, for example, change the transition of animation, etc.
No, the transition of animation, you cannot change that. You can change the colors, you can change the font, you can change labels, but the actual design, so those transitions are not. You're not able to change that. And basically, I've mentioned that we're gonna go for a new, fresh design relatively soon. So we'll add this as a suggestion for our developers in the future. Yes.
Okay. Amar asks, as an AppSumo, you mentioned license per domain. How about subdomain? Does it count as well? If you say, let's say we have 3 subdomains using Amelia, how does it count?
Every purchase code covers unlimited number of subdomains. So if you buy one code on AppSumo, it covers 3 domains and unlimited number of subdomains for all those 3 domains.
Very nice. Naz asks, hey, Aleksandar, regarding your answer to my initial question, can we block our staff from seeing a customer's personal details? This is needed for GDPR. Is this something feasible and are willing to create if I suggest it to your roadmap? Healthcare service operators need this as most employees are self-employed, dentists, surgeons, etc. So the business needs this, otherwise Amelia isn't serving our need. Also, any updates on the agency plan for Traft?
Okay, yeah. Well, as I mentioned, we're not yet HIPAA compliant, but we do have that high up on our to-do list. It's a bit tricky to do it. So even though it's planned, it's currently not the best solution for doctors and patient records, because we can help you hide the details of customers in the employee panel using custom CSS. We can do that. I'm going back to the redesign thing because with the new fresh design, we're going to be adding new options for you to hide stuff from the employees. So if you allow employees only to gain access to the employee panel, not WordPress backend, you will be able to hide stuff from them. I cannot say with 100% certainty, yeah, go ahead, buy it. I don't want to do that because I cannot guarantee it. We're moving towards that, but no ETA yet.
Okay. So BL asks, can I switch domains?
Yes. Under settings / activation, you activate your purchase code. If you want to move Amelia to another website, simply go back into that setting, deactivate the purchase code, and activate it on another domain, on another website, and that's it.
Okay. Stavros asks, is it possible to have custom time slots and times and custom amount of capacities for each time slot?
For each time slot, no. You can have custom capacity per employee. So for example, if I'm an employee, I inherit the capacity of the service, which is, for example, 10. Dave, you're a different employee and you want to allow 20 people to book the same appointment. So I'm offering a capacity of 10, you're offering capacity of 20. So that's a workaround in this case. With custom working hours, I can work from 1 to 5, where I offered the capacity of 10. You can work from 3 to 5, where you offer capacity of 20. So people would be able to choose between those.
Okay. Just to follow up on Naz's question, any news on Traft Agency?
Right, Traft Agency, the most popular question about Traft. We're moving towards that, but it's not ready yet. I don't have an ETA, unfortunately.
Gotcha. BL says, thank you for the answer. Ranveer asks, can I use dynamic data of the client?
Can you define that?
Okay. We'll do when Ranveer mentions that. Let's see, what else do we have here? Okay, Ranveer asks, can I embed booking page on non-WordPress websites?
You can use it as an iframe, but it needs to be hosted on a WordPress website. So you got to have a page on a WordPress website, which you can use as an iframe on a different non-WordPress page.
Ooh, that's clever. Okay. Okay. Any more questions, fellows? Weekly webinars, we've gone through this. Multi-site compatible, have I asked this one?
You haven't, but yes, it's compatible with multi-site installations.
Okay. Ranveer mentions dynamic data for thank you page.
For thank you page, well, there is an option to use a custom script, which we can provide, so the actual customer details are filled in dynamically. That is a possibility. We've actually had quite a few customers do that in the past couple of weeks.
Okay. Rajesh asks, can we have pre-qualifying survey?
Not within Amelia. This is something that's actually combined with membership plugins or form plugins. So you basically set up a redirect after a form, after filling up the form. If the form if the form contains the data that's necessary, it will be redirected to a booking page, which is not accessible directly. But within Amelia, it's not possible.
Okay.
I mean, just
okay.
before we move on, you can actually use the custom fields for that. So if you want to block someone from booking, you can set up a required field. So if they don't, I don't know, agree with your terms and conditions, or if they don't upload something that you need, they cannot book. That may be also a workaround.
That's a good one. I'll keep that in mind. Naz asks, will developer kit be available within tier 5 LTD accounts, or is this an add-on? If add-on, will it be a recurring fee or a one-off?
This is probably about the white label.
I'm not sure. I think, doesn't it mean like a developer account, like the one where you can make unlimited plugins on any website? I mean, unlimited websites. Yeah.
Yes. The 5 codes in AppSumo is equal to our developer's lifetime license. So, yeah, it can be used on an unlimited number of domains, unlimited number of subdomains, and you're entitled to lifetime support and lifetime updates.
Okay, so I think he's asked. Oh yeah, he was clarifying white label. So
White
would this
label, yes.
include? Would
Yes,
the
yes, yes.
5? So it would. It would.
Yes, it would. As I said, the 5 codes in AppSumo is the same as our developer license, and the developer license is the one that's going to contain the white label in the future.
Okay, sounds like a lot of people are doing 5 stacks today. Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Ranveer mentions, can I add some questions in the registration form and customize it?
Questions? Yes, of course. With the custom fields, those appear at the end. So where the customer enters their name, last name, phone number, email, you can add custom fields where you ask, there are a lot of people that use this as a form plugin. So basically, where did you hear about us? Are you bringing, if you're bringing someone with you, what is their name? I don't know. Quite a lot of fields can be added. There's virtually no limit to custom fields that you can add and questions that you can ask.
Come to think of it, now that you mentioned that, I have a question. Would there be a chance to do maybe some kind of a personality quiz before booking?
Of course, you can use those text custom fields that would be mandatory. You saw that there's a checkbox that says required. So until filling that up, you won't be able to book. I mean, we cannot block people from entering gibberish in there, but I suppose that if you have some questions, a personality test for your customers, and you add them through the custom fields, they would be honest with their answers. I mean,
Okay, sounds good. Well, Darren asks, will there be an API available at some point?
yes, there will be available. An API will be available again in a couple of months if everything goes according to plan.
Okay. Stavros, I think, is just qualifying regarding the capacity per time slot. So he's mentioning like 13 to 14, capacity 10, 14 to 15, capacity 5. Is that possible?
No, the only possibility is with the custom working hours, as mentioned before. So there's no custom capacity per time slot, only if you want to create different employees that cover those. So 13 to 14, employee A, which has capacity 5, 14 to 15, employee B, that has capacity 10. That's the only way at this moment, but that's a good suggestion. Yes, thank you.
Okay. So BL asks, can we send booking slip in the PDF format to the user?
Not yet. Well, you can send out email notifications, and you can style that email notifications via HTML so it can look nice. There, I've seen beautiful notifications. So at the moment, that's the only way. That's the only thing that's going on to the customer. So the ICS file for the calendar, which can be enabled, and the actual notification. We plan on including invoices also in the next few months, so they will be automatically sent, I believe, as PDF.
Okay. All right, guys, we're down to our last minute. Any more final questions? Okay. Are the emails white labeled?
Are the emails white labeled?
Or rather, are email white labeled by Rajesh?
Well, you can change the content of an email template if that's what Rajesh means. You can delete everything. You can configure them on your own, use different placeholders. You can disable them, enable them. There's really, I don't quite understand what he means by white labeling the notifications.
Yeah. If you could clarify that, Rajesh, that would be great. Stavros is just mentioning that there's a huge gap in the market regarding time slot capacities. So he would be very interested if you added that feature.
Okay, well, as mentioned, I will forward this to our development team, and when I think of it, it does sound like a good feature and a big improvement.
Okay. Just some very kind words. Felipe says this was great. Thanks, Aleksandar. BL says great demo, great product, great features. Pratik says in the future, can we have booking integration with swipe pages or as a SaaS?
Well, again, as a SaaS, no, because we have Draft, but there is an option to create a WordPress site as a SaaS, so maybe that way.
Okay. So this will be the last one just for clarification's sake. Rajesh says emails sent from my domain.
From his domain, well, with SMTP, you can connect to your email client, but from your domain, no. So you can use SMTP from Gmail, Yahoo, Outlook, and so on, but a custom domain, no.
Okay. So Mark says, great, thank you. Michael says, awesome product. And that's it for today, guys. Thank you for attending our webinar. Thank you for the wonderful presentation and answering our questions, Aleksandar. It's been wonderful, wonderful having you here. Yeah.
Thank you, Dave.
Guys, don't forget to get Amelia. How many hours do they have left? 24 hours and 58 minutes and 13 seconds left. You're not gonna regret full stack. Yeah. So get it before it is gone forever. All right. Thank you, Aleksandar. Thank you, everyone,
Thank
for
you,
sitting
Dave.
in today. All right. Stay safe and take care. Bye.
Take care. Bye bye.